The T-72 is the best tank of all time. This is it, an opinion by the way, this is just a fact. Regarded as one of the most iconic tanks of the Cold War, this thing is a beast. Entering full-scale production in 1973 and still seeing service in over 35 countries around the world until this very day. As per usual, I'm gonna follow my usual timeline in reviewing this vehicle, although I will add some new categories this time. And I'll leave timestamps in the description of the video for you to skip to a certain category you would like to see first. The development of the T-72 was based on the older T-62 and was supposed to replace all T-55, T-54, and T-62 at the same time, so they had to deck it out with the best technologies available to them at the time. So they started with switching the normal loading system where a specific crew member with the role of loading the main cannon and opted for a new auto-loading system and reduced the crew size to 3 instead of the usual 4. This move was done to suit the Russian war doctrine of mass production and quick fast-paced attacks. This allows the tank to have smaller silhouette than most other tanks in the world. Technically what this means is, if we take one of the 4 crew members from 3 tanks, we can have enough crew for an extra 4th tank crew, if that makes sense. The glorious T-72 had the 125mm 2A26 cannon, which they took from the earlier T-64 tank, which were way more complex and expensive. It had an average fire rate of almost 8 rounds per minute, or in other words, it can load a round every 7.1 seconds. It is also equipped with a 7.62 coax machine gun placed next to the main cannon and a roof-mounted 12.7 gun to shoot down low-flying aircrafts. The 125mm cannon fires many kinds of shells, but I'll be only talking about the 3 actually useful shells this thing can fire. First shell being the tungsten dart that T-72 mostly uses, the 3BM 22 APFSDS. A great shell for its BR due to its high muzzle velocity and great angle penetration, being able to dispose of everything you face in Warthunder with absolute ease. And its spalling characteristics usually allows you to one-shot most of your opponents, which brings us to the second shell the T-72 uses, the 3BK-12M Heat FS, a high explosive shell useful for its insane armor penetration capabilities and its high explosive filler, able to take care of lightly armored targets, but it comes at the cost of getting stuck on every obstacle it hits and exploding upon impact, which can lead to some very annoying moments, and it can easily be countered by any type of ERA found in a tank. The 3OF-26 works exactly the same, except this shell is not used for anti-tank missions, but to destroy infantry trucks, destroying buildings, and field fortifications. But in War Thunder, the community uses it to overpressure heavy enemy vehicles, usually by aiming at the enemy tank commander hatch and destroying the tank from above. Now switching the roles from what this thing can shoot to how much can this thing be shot on. Wait, that sounds wrong. Anyway, this thing has sloped composite armor in the front, and the turret is made out of rolled homogeneous steel, allowing to survive many hits from anything in your battle rating range. It also comes with smoke grenade launchers that will help you escape incoming fire by concealing your position for some time while you turn your entire tank around, because this thing has a top speed of 4 km an hour in reverse. The T-72 is a main battle tank, which technically just means that it's a hard-hitting, all-purpose vehicle that has a great mix of firepower, protection, and mobility. So it can be used in a lot of different tactics like brawling, sniping, or anything in between. I'm gonna be reusing the rating system we used in the previous video and rate it on the usual 5 categories, which are speed, maneuverability, survivability, firepower, and versatility. The T-72 uses an old diesel engine with a top speed of 60 km an hour going forward and 4 km an hour going in reverse. Yes, you heard me right, 4 km an hour in reverse. So slow that even your dead grandmother can probably outrun this damn tank in reverse. And the forward moving acceleration is average and nothing to write home about either. So we're just gonna give it a 4 out of 10 for speed. Now this thing is not maneuverable either, as it doesn't have neutral steering, is huge and struggles with hills, and is generally just not pleasant to drive. And the diesel engine is so loud the entire map can pinpoint exactly where you are. I am obviously exaggerating, but I'm doing it for dramatic effect. So I'll just give it a 5 out of 10 for maneuverability. The T-72's armor is quite bare bones and doesn't have any additional protection, such as explosive reactive armor or IRCM systems. But the frontal armor is very amazing in stopping most shells being thrown at it, and could take quite the beating. But if a penetration was ever to occur, it would be the first and last time anything would penetrate this vehicle. Since the entire crew is surrounded by things that can explode, the only thing left for the crew to do is praying they don't end up on the moon. I'll just give this thing a 6 out of 10 for survivability. So, as we talked about before, the T-72 has a cannon slightly bigger than everyone else's, by 5mm. And it has shells ready to destroy anything, from the heaviest tank down to the lightest vehicle it can find at this battle rating, and would dispose of them with the utmost ease and nonchalancy. So I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10 for firepower. When it comes to versatility, this thing is ready for anything the world throws at it. This can technically take down anything you face, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for versatility. In the end, the T-72 gets an outstanding 31.5 out of 50. Now this thing might sound bad on paper, however, the T-72 is really fun if played correctly. Yeah, new category added to the review. Anyway, due to the shortcomings of the T-72 we have mentioned previously, it mostly works best in sniping positions where you prefer long-range engagements over brawling in tight areas. I would recommend playing it in hull-down positions, but the T-72 has 3 fucking degrees of depression, so you can't really hide behind hills and fire at the enemy positions while concealing your own hull. It's in between sniping and brawling, or in other words, hold a position somewhere looking at the middle of the map and camp there until you see your teammates move up. And that's where you move up too, but don't move up too much and get cocky and die immediately. This tank requires thinking and strategy. Might not be what you're looking for in Warthunder, but it's really fun when you master it. Yeah, so this is the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you have anything you would like me to add to the review, please let me know in the comments. And if you want me to review a certain vehicle as well, leave it in the comments too. I'll be sure to make a video on it as soon as I can.